Hello again. Today I'm going to do my go-to spring look. I've been wearing this a lot this season and it'll probably carry on into the summer for me as well. It's not an overly complicated look. It's a little bit of a metallic smoky eye. I tend to wear the smoky eye style of eyeshadow more frequently because I've got a hooded eye. Meaning when my eye is open, there is not very much visible lid. I've kind of got this little flap of skin that hangs over top of it. So doing a whole bunch of definition on the eyelid, like the light to dark, though I can make it work, it's not the most flattering on my eye shape. I'm going to begin by concealing my under eye circles. I'm going to do all of my concealing first here because I'm not doing a really heavy foundation. I like a light, very fresh looking base. But I also definitely do like to get rid of these dark under eye circles. So I'm using my Bobbi Brown corrector in, what is this one? Bisque. How do I keep forgetting that? That's so silly. And I'm just using a Real Techniques brush here. This one is the domed shadow brush. And I'm just putting that wherever I'm seeing the darkness. I'm not using it to conceal my entire under eye area. Just wherever that blue is showing through. Using the Kevyn Aucoin Skin Enhancer in SX05 to cover any redness on my face. And I'm using that with, I'm so excited, I just got the limited edition Real Techniques brushes. This is the dual fiber eye brush. I'm not going to use it for eye. I'll probably be using it for skin more than anything because I love these dual fiber brushes for skin. So I'm just going to kind of dab the product on any areas where I've got a little bit of redness I want to cover. And then once I've distributed most of the product, I'll go back in and buff it all out. Next, I'm going to take my Maybelline Dream Lumi Highlighting Concealer in Radiant and do that sort of triangle under the eye to get a little bit of lightness and brightness there. So I've already used the other concealer to knock back the color, and now I'm just going to use this concealer to kind of brighten. And I'm also going to bring a little bit of that onto my cheekbone too to give a nice kind of pop and highlight there. So I'm going to take it just really close to the eye. I don't like to bring it all the way down. That's a little bit more dramatic than what I'm going for. And then I'm just going to use my finger, my ring finger, to kind of melt that into the skin. And then just tapping all on the top of the cheekbone there. If I need to, I can go back with this little dew fiber brush and blend any edges out, but I think I'm liking where it's landing here. I'm also going to take a little bit of that just through the brow bone. And the inside corner of the eye. I don't want to bring it down onto the lid. And now I'm going to set that with a little bit of powder. It is a foundation powder, so it's going to give me a little bit more coverage on top of the concealing I've just done. And I'm going to use the Duo Fiber Face Brush. The foundation is my Glow Minerals pressed powder base in Natural Light. And I'm especially going to set under the eyes there, because that's where I've got the most concealing going on. And especially on the chin, where I've done some concealing as well. And then I'm just going to do kind of a light dusting on the rest of my face. I'm going to begin the eyes by taking my NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. And I'm going to be using like a Stay Put or a long lasting cream shadow, but I did find that it lasted a bit better and didn't dissipate and crease as much when I used this underneath. So I'm just going to pick some of that up and put it all over the lid and underneath the eye as well on that lower lid area. So while that is setting, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm just going to use a little spoolie to give them a brush up. And then taking my Anastasia Brow Wiz in Brunette, I'm just going to fill in a tiny bit where needed. And then go and brush through again with that spoolie just to kind of evenly distribute the product. Alright, my shadow base should be nice and set now, so I'm going to take a Real Techniques shading brush, any small synthetic brush, and pick up quite a bit of my Tom Ford Illicit Cream Color for Eyes. This is a beautiful warm coppery shade, and I'm going to place that all over the lid and stopping just before the crease. I do want quite a healthy coat of this. I really like the full intensity effect of this color. I'm going to take another synthetic brush to just kind of buff that edge a little bit, so I'll use the Deluxe Crease Brush just to soften that edge. And I'm just blending it up onto the contour of my eye. Just smudging it so that it starts to fade away. I do like it a little bit bigger at the outside edge. If I've got any mistakes, I'll just kind of tap them away, as you can do with a cream product. It's nice that way. And then I'll probably go and do one more layer of the same thing. This doesn't have to be one of these expensive cream shadows to do this look. The Maybelline 24-hour color tattoos work beautifully. Almost every line does these pot cream shadows now, which is kind of nice. So you can see how it's just kind of shading up and out, and I like to leave this area of my eye nice and clear of color, so I'm just going to use that brush I was using with the foundations to go and clean up the edges there and make sure they're staying nice and skin tone. So I'm doing the underneath of the eye. I'm going to keep it a little bit larger at this outside edge and then just kind of narrow it towards the inside corner. Now I'm going to take my Essence Stays No Matter What waterproof eye pencil in brown. I like a matte brown eye pencil for this part because the shadow is so shimmery and like wet looking. And I'm going to take that all over my waterline, upper and lower. And then nice and heavy on this lower waterline. Really working it into those lashes all the way in. And then I'm just going to work this right into the lashes at the outer corner of my upper lid. And then take the brush I was using to put the shadow on to just kind of blend that eyeliner in with the cream shadow. Pop on a coat of mascara. I'm using my Kevyn Aucoin Lash Curler. And my Urban Decay Lush Lash Mascara. Anytime you're wearing a smoky eye, you want a nice healthy coat of mascara or two. Once I put my first coat on the top, I like to take whatever's left on the brush to do my lower lash line. I like when I'm moving into my lower lash line for the mascara to be a little bit drier, so I don't make as big of a mess. One more coat on the top. Just going to go in with a little bit more of that foundation powder and just kind of pop it right on that brow bone, keeping it nice and fresh and light up there. And that's the eye done for the most part. I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye and then I'll be right back. Moving on to the rest of the face, I'm going to pop a little bronzer on kind of as a contour, and I'm going to use this NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in Sunny. I know this is a big YouTube hit. I'm new to it. I am still getting used to it and trying to see if I love it or if I'm just about it. I'm going to use that same brush I used to put the foundation on with, this big dual fiber brush, and I'm going to pop that down the back. Let me get the hair out of the way. I'm going to pop that down the back of the cheekbone and in through the hairline. And on the jaw as well. So I'm putting it in the contour area, but I'm also blending it up onto the bone as well, so it's not so much a hard contour line. It still remains just a little bit subtle. These brushes make it really easy to layer your product up because it's not picking up a ton of product when you dip it in. Me like. I'm also going to take just a smidge of that bronzer on that same brush I was using to apply the concealer and the foundation powder, and pick a little bit of that up and just bring it through the crease of the eye a tiny bit, just for harmony's sake. And it'll just give a little bit of extra definition right in that contour for me. For blush, I'm going to keep it in the warm tones of the eyeshadow and use this e.l.f. blush in Candid Coral. And I've just kind of given this same brush a bit of a dry clean on a towel. And now I'm just going to pick some of that up and just bring it through the back of the cheekbone. I don't want it to go on the apple at all. This has quite a sheen to it as well, so it'll also kind of act as a highlight. Almost done now, just for a little bit of lip. And I'm going to use my MAC Subculture lip liner. I've just got a little tiny bit of it left. This was my go-to nude lip liner, but honestly the Boots nude, Boots number 7 nude, and even my Essence in the nude are almost identical to this one, and the Essence one especially is a fraction of the price. And then I'm just filling the lip in with that a tiny bit. going to use a Lip Fusion Infatuation lip gloss, and this one is called Big and Bare, and it's kind of a caramel color with a little bit more warmth in it. Just going to use a lip brush to apply that. And then lastly, just to kind of set everything and get rid of any powdery residue, I'm going to take a little bit of my MAC Fix Plus. Well, that's it for my spring makeup look. Hope you enjoyed it and come back again for something new. Thanks. Bye-bye.